Hi, I'm Rich Torrey, and welcome to another Level Up Cartooning. All you ever need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? This week we're drawing some of the most iconic scenes from two of the greatest, most beloved movies in animation history, both created by the incomparable Hayao Miyazaki and his studio Ghibli. Earlier this week we drew Chihiro and No-Face from Spirited Away. Today we're going to draw 11-year-old Satsuki, her 4-year-old sister Mei, and the beloved, benevolent spirit Totoro, standing at the bus stop in the rain. As I said about Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro is a must-watch for fans of hand-drawn animation, having won multiple awards, including being voted as one of the best films of the 21st century. But again, all of Miyazaki's movies are worth watching. Before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as it helps this channel to grow. Hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Okay, so let's draw Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. We're going to draw Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro step by step, giving you the secret formula to be able to draw them again and again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I normally use the character's head to figure out how big the entire character is. In this drawing, 11-year-old Satsuki is exactly 4 heads tall. In other words, however tall her head is, her entire body is 4 of those. Totoro is almost exactly twice as tall as Satsuki. Alright, so let's start with that roadmap for Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. So there's a roadmap for Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro. Now we're on to step 2. In this step, we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to draw as light as possible. You'll see that I use guidelines to help me to know where to put Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro's features. We don't want those guidelines in the final drawing, so you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. So let's rough out Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro's features. Okay, so there are the roughed out features of Satsuki, her sister Mei, and Totoro. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for the final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw in the final details of Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work to figure that out. In this step, it's okay to draw darker, but don't press too hard or mindlessly retrace over the lines you've already drawn. Always draw with an eye on tweaking and improving until the very end. Alright, so let's draw in the details for Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro. Alrighty, there they are, Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro from the amazing award-winning movie My Neighbor Totoro. So how do you think you did? Understand, if you've never drawn Satsuki, Mei, or Totoro before, you cannot expect to have drawn them perfectly. You notice I don't spend time coloring them during this video because I want my lesson to focus solely on the drawing process. Now you have the secret formula, the process for drawing Satsuki, Mei, and Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. And with that, you can draw them again and again. And by all means, color them when you're done. I promise each time you draw them, it'll be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. For those of you who want to go a little deeper, click on the link below for my free 4-part drawing series, where I spend more time explaining the details and the thinking behind each step in what I call the level up cartooning process. So I'd love to see your drawing of Satsuki, her sister Mei, and Totoro. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram. And don't forget to include the hashtag #LevelUpCartooning. I hope you had as much fun as I did with this one. Remember to subscribe and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.